welcome back to my channel if you're new here. My name's Raya, and y'all, we have officially hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for watching this video, all my previous videos, and just overall supporting me and watching me over my art journey. Now, due to this oh so special occasion, I will be formally kidnapping I will be formally kidnapping and drawing your guys' OCs in my style. Without further ado, let's get into drawing the OCs. Alright, so starting off strong, we have Zori by Paralunettes. The description that we are given for Zori is that she's 22 and formed a band with her friends in high school, and they've played together ever since. She plays bass and electric guitar, as well as a bit of keyboard and trumpet. She's also tried DJing in the past, but it didn't work out, and she doesn't actually understand music theory, sheet music, or any other technical aspect of music, and has no interest in doing so. Paralunettes also mentions that Zori is an awfully sore loser. I was given a lot of awesome reference photos to go off of for Zori and her outfit, including a little gif, which I thought was literally the cutest thing ever. In terms of my take on her, I decided to use a pretty popular reference photo from Pinterest. I don't know if you guys know it. In terms of the scene that I wanted Zori to be in, I was thinking more mid-concert or mid-practice for an upcoming concert. I really wanted to focus on the perspectives and getting all of the really cool elements of her outfit, especially the entirety of her hair. Her hair was so fun to draw. If I'm being completely honest, this is probably maybe the second time in my life that I've ever drawn a guitar, and I'm sure this time is definitely a lot better, but it is still so genuinely difficult. I feel like I really need to practice and study that. Saying that though, I think it did turn out pretty well. I think that the rendering was really good, and I had a lot of fun with the perspective and drawing the guitar strings and just like the rendering overall. Ever since Art Fight ended, I've had this like little voice, this tiny voice in my head that's been like, draw an OC, draw someone's OC. And I've been like, no, because I don't know. I feel like after I get so motivated with Art Fight, I just like completely lose it afterwards, and I'm like, what do I even draw? So the fact that I was able to draw such a colorful OC and like hopefully do it justice, it just made this process so much more fun. Not only that, but I feel like I'm not the best at picking out colors, and the colors here, they just go so well together. Like, oh my goodness, complementary colors. And I think the original art in general, like for all three of these, the original art was just so nice to look at, and I genuinely loved looking at all of your guys' like art styles and the different ways that you guys like draw and perceive your OCs and the difference in how I perceive them. I think that's so like freaking cool. Getting back on topic, I wanted to do the most atmospheric lighting that I possibly could. I wanted there to be a whole bunch of light sources and direct lighting, shadows, etc, etc. I think I did it pretty well. I don't know. You guys let me know. Thank you so much, Paralunettes, for submitting Zori and for bringing her to my life, because she's genuinely so adorable and I loved drawing her so much. I have nothing else relevant to say. Oh, you know what I really liked? I liked doing the pins. I thought they were so cute. I don't think I've ever drawn pins before. We're reaching the end of the speed paint. I tried out a new brush for this. I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. It was a brush pen, for any of you guys who are wondering, which nobody probably is, but that's besides the point. And in the end, I decided to end up flipping the canvas because I thought it looked better that way. So let me know what you guys think. Alright guys, moving on to the next OC, we have Falacia by Falacia Dusk. A brief description on Falacia reads that she is an immortal hybrid amber fox and calico cat elf that was kidnapped and experimented on since she was a baby that caused her immortality. She lures in mortal lovers and unalives them for their blood in an attempt to make herself mortal again, which has failed and only made her lose her fox/cat ears and tail features. She has angel wings but can't fly and loves stories, plushies, and hammocks, but is also scared of the dark. Yet again, I was presented with a plethora of reference photos to use for this piece. And based on the very descriptive background information, I decided to do the moment that she decided to take the life of her first mortal lover and kind of her reaction after, I guess, eating them. To be honest, I was just very inclined to draw cat ears, and I was like, yo, maybe I should get in the drawing furries, like this kind of ate that, but besides the point. If you're sensitive to blood, please skip ahead to the timestamp. Yet again, I was going for atmosphere and vibes, and I decided to kind of put her in like a darker grassy lands. Like, it was getting dark, but it wasn't dark enough. Kind of the play on like that fear of the dark, but also a very eerie feeling. When it came to messing with blending modes, I low-key had a problem with merging all my layers. So if anybody has any tips for merging layers with different blending modes and having it not all merge into one blending mode, that would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I did have a bit of trouble with rendering this since I didn't have any type of exact direct light source. The only thing I did know is that I wanted it to be kind of lineless. Although I wish I could have shown more of Felicia's dress, I do really like how she's kind of looking almost dead on, but not exactly at you. I think that adds like a bit of a soulless take to it. With all the different blending modes and lighting that I was doing, rendering the feathers took especially long, but I think it did turn out like really good. But I definitely need to have like a better method of doing that, because I think this took me like 7 hours, which is crazy, but it's not unheard of from me, and if it's for you guys, I'll do it for you guys. I added some mist and fog to kind of give more of like an almost swampy feel to it, which I think added a lot, and I really like the black outline because I think it really added to like the movie-esque vibe to it. Anyways, let me know what you think of the strong of Felicia, and thank you so much, Felicia Dusk, for submitting her. Alright, and last but not least, we have 2 character submissions for 1 drawing, all submitted by 10Draw0XD, and the characters' names are Aaron and Alina. Background information is a little long, so please bear with me while I try to read this. So, Adorius/Aaron was born a prince of a distant elven kingdom and was sent at the age of 5 to be betrothed to Alina, who was the princess of a neighboring realm. The two became childhood friends, but the union was sabotaged by Alina's ambitious father, who ordered Ardorius's assassination to secure a different alliance. Surviving a fire and falling into the castle moat, Ardorius lost his memories and was presumed dead. He was then raised on the streets by a notorious thief until the man's death, after which Ardorius went by the name Aaron, who became a cunning, street-smart rogue known throughout the kingdom. Accompanied by a clever boujay named JJ, Aaron makes a living through swordplay, tricks, and flirtatious cons. Eventually captured by the kingdom's guards, he's offered freedom in exchange for protecting Princess Alina from recent threats. Alina, once a dreamy and curious child, grew into a strong-willed, book-loving princess raised under the watchful eye of her own very protective father after her mother's death. Still haunted by the memories of her lost friend, she accepts the bodyguard begrudgingly, unaware that it's Adorius. Tendra also mentions that they have kind of a Zelda and Link relationship. If I'm being quite honest, I never really got into the Legend of Zelda games, so I'm familiar with how their relationship works, but I'm not too familiar with the details. So instead, I decided to have a moment where one of Aaron's flirtatious tricks didn't go so well and is getting yelled at by Alina for it. This piece was also kind of hard to sketch up, mainly for the fact that I drew Aaron in one perspective and Alina in a different, and I was still trying to make it make sense and work because I already had liked what I did previously a lot. I really loved how fleshed out the story was, and the little addition of the blue jay I thought was just so adorable. And if I'm being completely honest, drawing Alina's like mouth and like that yelling facial expression from that angle was genuinely one of the most difficult things I've had to do for all 3 of these drawings. It took me so long to figure out the proportions and to make it look right, but I did it and I think it looks good, so it is what it is. I kept the background fairly simple and wanted to go for more of a comic book kind of vibe, so I kept the shading pretty minimal, almost like cell shading, a little bit more of a light source just to render it a little bit more than a regular comic panel. All in all, I really like the scene that I captured for this piece, and I really like how it seems like a snapshot in time, because that was just kind of the vibes that I got for this characters. Thank you so much, Happy Draws, for submitting your characters. They were so fun to draw, and they're just beautiful, so thank you. Guys, we did it. That's it. That's the end of the video. I just want to say thank you so much to all 3 of these people for submitting in my Google form. These were actually the only 3 submissions that I got, so I really appreciate all of you guys for taking time out of your day to answer this Google form from some random girl on the internet. I have nothing else relevant to say, so once again, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I really mean it. Thank you so much. Alright, seriously though, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!